What's up, homies? It's your boy LT. Today's Wednesday Wisdom, and we're talking about why you gotta say things like I was wrong. Let's get right into this. So I came across this really dope quote the other day, and I'm gonna read it to y'all. It goes like, knowledge and understanding comes from acknowledging ignorance, because the person who deems themselves only correct never is able to see when reality deems them mistaken. That was a good quote. Who said it? Hehe. I did. That's my quote. Those are... But no, for real, this is extremely important. I call this humility of the mind. It seems simple, but it's so essential to actually allow yourself to be like, yeah, I was wrong. To be comfortable in any circumstance, to remember that you're not always right. When you get new information, to be able to apply it and change your ideas and thoughts. Just the simple thing of truly being able to remember that you're not always right, this mindset can truly transform your world. This humility of the mind just allows you to take in so much more knowledge and information without always trying to just prove yourself right, but rather instead find out what is right. Without this mindset, without this humility of the mind, it really just prevents you from learning. And honestly, it's a skill, and it can be a lot harder said than done. A lot harder done than said. Yeah. It's a skill that has to be worked on. And that's because there's all these different things that just make it harder to have this humility of the mind. You have cognitive dissonance, you have cognitive biases, you have logical fallacies. There's just so much that makes it harder to have this humility of the mind. But if you never allow yourself to be wrong, you'll never know when you actually are wrong, and then you'll just stay wrong. You know, there's the phrase, knowledge is power and the truth will set you free. Because at the end of the day, you're only hurting yourself if you just have too much pride and you can't just humble yourself to learn something new. You're not always right. Nobody is. You know, we're so lucky to be living in a century where we have so many resources at our hands. You can Google anything. And researching well is also an important skill, or else you just fall into confirmation bias and just go out to prove yourself right. Major key right here. Shout out DJ Khaled. Don't try to prove yourself right. Try to prove yourself wrong. Because in the end, if you were right in the beginning, there shouldn't be loads of research and information against you. Now, if there is, that means something. And you can't just ignore it because you want to prove yourself right. Don't try to make up your reality. Learn about what makes up reality. That was another major key. Also, don't be afraid to be different. You don't have to follow what everybody else is doing. If everybody else is not putting in the time to understand things, then don't follow the non-understanding things just to be like everybody else. Be your own person, be your own mind. Humble your mind. Say you thought something for 20 years and you lived your whole life by it, and now you have the resources and information to learn new things. Do you want to live the next 70 years of your life ignoring that information just to make your 20-year-old self happy? Just to boost your 20-year-old self's ego? Or would you rather live the next 70 years with new information and enlightened and knowing all this new stuff and being like, whoa, I know so much stuff? Like, imagine if we all still believed that the earth was flat and that the sun revolved around us just to prove ourselves right and boost our egos, even though there's all this information and knowledge that, like, you can go research and learn and study and be like, from. No? Like, you don't want to go and ignore the water cycle in your second grade science class just because you don't want to learn about cause versus correlation and you prefer your previous thought about rain gods. Knowledge is power. You don't lose anything from learning more. The worst thing that can happen from learning new things is that you have more knowledge now and you understand reality a little bit better. Challenge yourself. Don't just try to prove yourself right. Don't ignore information just because it doesn't make you happy by boosting your ego. If you're holding on to the little bit of things that just support what you think and you just ignore the thousands and thousands of things that contradict and put into question what you think, you're not doing yourself any good, nor are you helping the people around you. Just have humility of the mind and acknowledge ignorance. Don't bathe in it. That was a major key too. Alright, hope you enjoyed that video and learned something maybe. Alright, question of the day. What's something recent that you realized you weren't right about? Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to hit that share button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. For more stuff, follow me on all of my social medias. And of course, save the cheese. Save the world.